Documentary filmmaker Kexthara had won 17 Galactic Broadcasting Awards for her peaceful nature documentaries. Her gentle narration and stunning visuals of garden worlds had entertained families across dozens of species for 3 decades. When the network commissioned her to create the first nature documentary about Earth, she expected another routine project showcasing a typical life-bearing world. She was catastrophically wrong. The first warning sign came during her initial review of the raw footage. Her camera crew, hardened professionals who had filmed in asteroid fields and gas giant storms, had submitted their recordings along with formal requests for hazard pay and trauma counseling. Director, her lead cameraman Vexdal reported, his 3 eyes blinking in sequence, a sign of severe stress. "We need to discuss the content warnings for this project." Kexthara pulled up the preliminary footage, expecting perhaps some mildly aggressive herbivores or territorial disputes. Instead, she witnessed what could only be described as a planet-wide war zone where every living thing was actively trying to consume every other living thing. The opening sequence showed Earth's oceans. What should have been a serene underwater paradise was instead a nightmare of predation. Massive creatures with teeth the size of starship hulls hunted smaller creatures, who in turn hunted even smaller creatures, who themselves were hunting microscopic organisms that were somehow also predatory. "How?" Kexthara asked weakly. "Do the tiny organisms manage to be carnivorous?" "They eat each other," Vexdal replied. "Constantly. The entire ocean is basically a feeding frenzy that's been going on for billions of years." The land footage was even worse. Kexthara watched in horror as creatures with retractable claws casually dismantled their prey, while pack hunters coordinated attacks with military precision, and something called a mantis performed acts of violence that would be censored in most galactic horror films. "What about the herbivores?" she asked hopefully. "Surely the plant-eaters are peaceful?" Her assistant editor Zalmar highlighted a segment showing a creature called a hippopotamus. "This one only eats plants," he said, "but it kills more humans than most of the dedicated predators." "But why?" "Apparently, it just doesn't like them." By the end of the first week, Kexthara had accumulated enough footage to traumatize viewers across the galaxy. Earth's ecosystem was a continuous cycle of violence that made military training simulations look like children's entertainment. Worse, it was all completely natural. How? She wondered aloud. Did humans evolve in this environment? The answer came in the final batch of footage. Her cameras had followed human researchers as they casually walked through environments that should have killed them. Instantly, they observed predators that could tear them apart, studied venomous creatures that could kill them with a single bite, and collected data on organisms that could dissolve their flesh, all while displaying what they called scientific curiosity. "They're not afraid of any of it," Vexdal reported with awe. "They grew up with these creatures. To them, this is just Tuesday." The completed documentary, titled Earth, A World at War with Itself, required unprecedented content warnings. The Galactic Broadcasting Commission rated it 18+ for extreme natural violence, disturbing predatory behavior, and scenes that may cause nightmares in sensitive species. It became the most watched nature documentary in galactic history. The opening narration, delivered in Kexthara's knout-rembling voice, became legendary. "What you are about to witness is the natural state of a single planet located on the galaxy's outer rim. No special effects have been used. No dramatic enhancements were added. This is simply life on Earth, where every day begins with the question, who will eat whom today?" The documentary swept every major award that year and fundamentally changed how the galaxy viewed both nature and humanity. Most species realized that Earth wasn't just a death world. It was a death world that had somehow produced a species that considered it home. The final scene showed a human child playing peacefully in a garden while creatures that could kill them in dozens of ways went about their daily routines mere meters away. The image became the documentary's most haunting moment. innocence thriving in a world designed for violence. Critics called it simultaneously beautiful and terrifying, which perfectly described humanity's relationship with their impossibly hostile home.